Welcome back to the Tradehacker Mindset podcast. In this episode, I want to ask you a question. Would you let someone else raise your kids? And how does that relate to trading?
Trading the markets can be difficult to master and seemingly just out of reach. Professional traders have a secret. Trading requires total mental and emotional control. It requires the Tradehacker Mindset.
All right, so let's jump into this topic of would you let somebody else raise your kids? Now, some of you might be thinking, yes, I would. Because raising kids is hard and sometimes it just plain sucks, right? Like there are so many times where kids frustrate you, they, do different things that you're not really quite sure where that came from. But the reality is, I think at least the vast majority of us who have kids would say that raising our kids was also one of the most gratifying and rewarding things that we've ever done, right? Like, can you imagine going to the hospital, wife has your baby, and you immediately give it to somebody else and be like, all right, I'll be back when they're 18 to pick them up. And I mean, think about all the things that you would miss. You would miss the first time they said dada or mama. You'd miss the first time they walked. You'd miss the first time your son got a hit in baseball. You'd miss the first time, all these different firsts that just make all the negative things around raising kids. It makes them all the bad things melt away, right? So how does that relate to trading? Well, I think a lot of people want to have all the joys of trading without the part that actually makes it a complete joy in life. And what I'm trying to say here is, if you are copying somebody else's trades, okay, you're kind of like trying to take the profitable part of trading without doing the work yourself. And the reality is it just never works. You will never become a successful trader by doing that. Just like you would never have a successful relationship with your kids if somebody else raised them, but then you just came and picked them up at age 18. Or like, hey, it's me, Dad. I'm ready to have a great relationship with you. It just doesn't work that way, right? So I see it in so many different facets of our community. One, like I just mentioned, people will try to just copy trades without even understanding the strategy. It kind of blows my mind. Number two, people will, a lot of our strategies are backtest driven, right? We use an awesome backtesting tool called Option Omega. It's inexpensive. It's easy to use. It's easy to learn. But you do have to put in some effort, right? You do have to spend some time raising your trading game using tools like a backtesting tool. And so if you come in and you just decide you want to start trading off of someone else's backtest, do you really think that that's a good idea? Do you really think that you will become a successful trader by doing that? The answer is no, right? There are so many different aspects to someone's backtest that you, as somebody who just glances at the screenshot of it, does not take away, right? There's the trade log. Anytime I'm kind of creating a backtest, I'm always going through, and it takes time, sometimes hours, to go through the trade log and figure out what really happened on different days to give that performance that it's showing. Because just looking at a P&L curve that looks really nice from bottom left to upper right on a backtest doesn't really tell the true story. So you've got to spend some time digging into it. You've got to spend some time figuring out the allocation, whether you're doing a number of contracts or a percentage of your portfolio. or a fixed dollar amount. All these different aspects matter in how you create the backtest and how it fits specifically for you, for your account size, for your risk tolerance, because what's good for you is not good for everybody else. And so a backtest that I use, a strategy that I trade, may not be a great strategy for someone else. And so the only way that you can truly get to know that and understand it is to use the tool yourself and do the back testing and do the homework and do the, digging in and doing the raising of the kids before you can have that relationship with your strategy. The other aspect where this whole concept relates is trading off of somebody else's trade plan, right? I put my trade plan out to our community, and I show exactly what trades I'll be taking, what time I'll be taking them, in what environments I'll be taking them, so everybody knows exactly what I'm trading before I even trade it. But some people confuse that with that's their trade plan. That they're just going to copy what I do, and they're just going to come into the day and look at my trade plan, and whatever's happening, they'll just do that. And again, it will never ever work out. Like, you're trying to take shortcuts, or you're trying to save money by not subscribing to a software like an Option Omega or something else. You're trying to shortcut that. But what you don't realize is that you are actually hurting yourself financially in the longer run. Would it be nice for somebody to come and just raise your kids? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you kind of wish that. But in the long run, is that going to build a deeper relationship with your kids or a lesser relationship with your kids? Like, I think a lot of times we need to zoom out and take a little bit broader perspective on what we're trying to accomplish. And here's the reality when it comes to trading, is that a lot of this is not necessarily your fault of why you do those kind of things. I mean, some of it is. Some people are lazy, some people are cheap, and they just, they don't want to, they try to cut corners at all costs. But a lot of times, this is the way that you've been brought up in our trading industry, right? You've joined services that say, just copy me, that's all you have to do, and you'll be a multimillionaire in 3 years. Just follow what I say. I'm the all-knowing. I have the inside information, so just follow me. And so that you've been brainwashed, some of you have been brainwashed throughout your trading career to think that is the way to become successful. Find that trade copy service that does good. Find that guru that has that inside knowledge of they always know when the market's going to move one direction or the other. And it's really unfortunate about our trading industry in general, because that is just not in any way how it works. No one in the history of the stock market has ever been consistently profitable just blindly following or copying somebody else's trades, blindly copying somebody else's backtest, blindly just following somebody else's trade plan. You have to do the work. You have to raise your kids. You have to dig in and really figure out all the little nuances that go along with your trading. If you think about, like, and this is in every aspect of life. So why people think it would be different in trading is kind of an anomaly, right? Like look at golf, okay? I'm a pretty terrible golfer. I don't golf very often. On a normal course, I would typically shoot somewhere in the 90s, right? Par is like, say, 73. I would pretty consistently shoot like a 96, 97, right? So not a very good golfer. But what if I told you, what if somehow I found the ability to get Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy or one of the top golfers in the world? What if I got them to be my caddy for a day? And I got them to follow me along, pick my clubs, tell me exactly what to do. They would get out and they would swing first so I could see exactly what they were doing. Do you think I could shoot par if they showed me exactly what to do? Of course not. Of course not. They're just because like I'm trying to copy them, just because they're telling me the exact club to use, just because they're showing me the exact way they swing, doesn't mean that when I get up and swing the club that I'm going to be able to hit it as accurately and as far as they will. Because I haven't put in the work. I haven't spent hours and hours on the range. I haven't spent hours and hours working on my putting. I haven't spent hours and hours working on my short game and my long game and everything else in between. Right? So it doesn't translate. There's no way that I'm ever going to shoot par going from where I'm at now unless I absolutely just, put in the work and spend hours and hours and hours and years and years doing it. And trading is the same way. Like people, the problem with our industry is that trading, it's such a low barrier to entry, right? All you have to do is have a little money, throw it in an account, and you can start clicking the mouse and making trades. And for some reason, and again, part of it is all the BS that we hear in our industry and all the false promotion and YouTube gurus and everything else. Part of it is them making you feel as if it's easy. Them making you feel as if it doesn't take a lot of work or time to become successful. Because the reality is anyone could put on a trade and get a winning trade. Anybody. We've all done it, right? If you're brand new, you can click the button and have a winning trade. But so that gives you a false illusion that you can just do it over and over without actually putting in the work. And part of the work is, diving into the strategy and understanding the nuances and understanding the nuances of managing risk, or understanding the backtest of a strategy if it's a backtested strategy, or or most importantly, understanding your own psychology. Right? The whole basis of this podcast is around the mental side of trading. And so have you done the work on yourself to be able to become a consistently profitable trader? Because it's not about copying somebody else's strategy. Strategies are a dime a dozen. I can give you two different traders, give each trader the exact same strategy, and I would have significantly different results. I could give 100 traders the same exact strategy, and I would have significantly different results from each trader. So the strategy is something that provides structure, right? So we can't just go into the markets willy-nilly, just slinging trades around without any basis. But the reality is it's the mental work that you've done on yourself and the mental work that you've done on the strategy of how exactly you're going to manage it and how you're going to perceive the market in different ways that's going to make the big difference. It's the raising of the kids that's going to build the relationship that's going to last a lifetime, right? It's not just having the kid and being the parent that's going to make the difference. It's putting in the work. It's doing the little things consistently over years that's going to make the difference. So, hope that helps. Just been something on my mind that I see over and over in our community where people will just be doing it wrong. And part of it is I went down that path, right? I mean, for my first several years, when I first started trading in 1999, that's what I did, right? I tried to just copy people. I thought, man, if I can just find that one person that I can just ride their coattails, this is going to be awesome. I'm not going to have to do anything. I'm never going to have to work again. I don't have to learn this stuff. I'll just do what they do, and I'll make a lot of money. I don't want you to have to go through that same cycle that I went through as a young trader. And so I'm hoping that I can shorten your learning curve because of the mistakes that I made when I was younger to help you get to the point of consistent profitability as fast as possible. So hope that helps. Until the next episode, talk to you soon.